BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Real quick. So we went to a jump off last night. I'm not 100% sure how many of y'all was actually able to catch it yet. Shout out to Pooch Loke. It was Pooch Loke. It was a party. We had a couple of parties. This is just one of them, I'm assuming. Shout out to Pooch Loke. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Pooch Loke. This is one of the parties that he had. Appreciate the invite. I pulled up to it. This is one of the parties that Pooch Loke had for his birthday. I pulled up to it. Definitely appreciate it. Don't let anybody lie to you. They had a couple of good artists there. The video is still up. I don't know how long the video was gonna stay up because it was demonetized. And where is my brush? Give me 1 second. I'm looking for my brush. The video was demonetized, obviously, because we had music in there that we do not own over here, nor have the rights to play. So the video was demonetized, which is fine. It's okay for that to happen every once in a while. It's just bad when it happens all of the times. I was a little bit late, so you have to pardon me. Give me 1 second. How's everybody doing today? And give me 1 second. We got a drop last night. I want to call that out. Shout out to that brother. It's always dope when we go out in the field to do something, and people appreciate what we bring to them. It's always dope when we go out into the field to do something and people appreciate what we bring to them. So shout out to that. Let me call him. I believe it was, God dang it, who is she? Shout out to Charlie Santana with the $20 drop last night. Definitely appreciate you, my brother. Obviously, I wasn't able to show it. As you can see, it was at 2 a.m. Obviously, I wasn't able to show it because we was actually shooting off of the phone. So I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all, not for nothing. So y'all seem to like the Saloon shows. And so we're gonna do another Saloon show this week. Last week it was a pretty successful Saloon show. Everybody had a good time. This particular subject might seem like it might be a little bit, it's definitely very serious. Do not get this confused, but I'm not going to take it with but so much of the seriousness because of, I'm going to explain. Raz B has been talking about this particular thing for years. This is not anything new. Raz B has been complaining about these things, and I'm not going to say complaining as far as trying to poo-poo it away like it's not something he should be upset about. I don't think I would ever have, I don't think I would ever be able to let anything like this go, just so we can be clear. This is not a thing I would ever be able to let go. So with that being said, let's do roll call real quick. Can we hit that like button so we can send out some notifications if y'all don't mind? What up to the business? What up, Black Cuddy? Salute to the Black Spades. We got the Black Spades up in the house. What up, DZ? Shout out to DZ, BBN West, the smoking section. Who else we got up in here? What up, Eric Mack? What up, Mace? Mace B. He said best of luck to Raz B. What up, Watts Games? Raz B's up against a lot, so the fact that you just said best of luck to Raz B, that actually he's been up to he's up against a lot. What up, Watts Games? How you doing? What up, Suzette Carbuckle? All right, so let's get into it. So just because we want to talk about this whole before the shenanigans start or whatever the case is, I want y'all to understand something right now. If Chris Stokes was doing what he's being accused of doing, you do know that means that a lot of people knew, right? You know that a lot of people had to have known. Like, okay, let's stop for a second. When we talk about this, oh, also I did a regular video on it. If y'all want to go check that out, just so we could be clear about something. What up, Eric Dulcio? Shout out to Miami. Salute to Miami. Just so y'all know, I just want to be clear on something real quick. Whenever R. Kelly comes up, people always say, well, those other individuals had to know what R. Kelly was doing, right? Don't people say that all the time? Every single time R. Kelly comes up, people had to know what R. Kelly was doing. R. Kelly wasn't hiding it. A lot of these individuals that get accused of this, it comes out that, you know, the ones that are actually guilty really didn't hide any of it, and individuals knew. So in this particular case, are you trying to tell me, right? Because Chris Stokes, immature, Chris Stokes, B2K, right? Both of them, right? Unless I'm missing something. So you're trying to tell me there's a chance that Chris Stokes had the ability to have access to at least 7 different young kids, young boys, that he then sexually took advantage of? Is that what you're telling me? I'm curious. Is that what you're telling me? Because if that's what you're telling me, then you're telling me that there's people in the industry that know. So these people that might be trying to shut up Raz B, it might not be Chris Stokes. It might be other individuals that might be trying to shut up Raz B. So it is what it is. Raz B said he wants to take a lie detector test. Hold on. Raz B said he wants to take a lie detector test. And he also wants Chris Stokes to take one. Now, first of all, you already know. Okay, so this is the way that we have to stop thinking that the justice systems work. The justice system does not work this way. It doesn't work where you have to try to convince somebody that you're innocent. That's not the way our justice system is supposed to work. That's not how we supposed to think. You understand what I'm saying? We shouldn't even think like that. That's backwards thinking. Somebody has to prove to you that they're innocent. Why? Now, with all that being said, I'm not saying that Chris Stokes isn't guilty. I'm just speaking about this as fairly as possible. So let's go to a couple of the things that I heard Marcus Houston, Raz B say. You know, Raz B said that Marcus Houston also molested him. What up, Sharon McLean? Sharon McLean says it's true. We have to support the victims. Raz is a victim. His story has not changed one time, and the rest of them don't want to be labeled as gay. That's why they don't want to come forward. Okay, so this is the thing. If you're a child and you have something forced upon you, you're not that thing. Okay, I just want to be clear on that. So I don't want anyone to feel like if they were a child, if something was forced upon them, that they're that thing. You're not that thing. I also don't think you should ever shut up about it. I think that you should, from the highest mountains, you should be screaming out all of the injustices that happen to you. That's what I think you should be doing, just so we can be clear. If that happened to me, I'd be on here every single day talking about the rat bastard that did this to me and the rat bastard that did that to me. You already know I would be. So, are they saying that they don't want to come forward because they were victims, or they don't want him to come forward because they were victims that turned into victimizers? You get it? Because there's a difference. Eric Docio says you'll be on point with the stuff you say. It might not be him, as in Chris Stokes, I'm gonna assume. It's the other people around that eats off of him that wants him to shut up. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna tell you something, and this is just me talking from a really don't know much about this particular topic. All right, I'm gonna tell you something. If you think that the majority of people that wanna or are actually molesting children, raping, that they're sitting at home, they're not doing that. Alright? They're out there doing what they gotta do to be able to get access to their drug. Okay? That's what they're doing. So you have somebody that you know, believe me, there's a lot of them that's sitting at home. There's a lot of them that's roaming the streets looking for somebody to snatch up in a van. Don't get this confused. But a majority of these individuals that try to take advantage of people like children, they go work in your schools. They go work in your clinics. They go work places where they can have access to children and have an authoritative position so that the child believes that they have to follow what that person says. That's what they go do. See, the thing is, most of these people don't get caught. Do y'all remember that do y'all remember that doctor that was the Olympic doctor, and also I think he worked in Michigan? He was also the Michigan doctor for the people that do the gymnastics. And he was molesting those children for years. And they all believed, yeah, at least, initially, that the things that he was doing to them was for their, they didn't feel comfortable doing it, but they believed that they were supposed to do what he wanted them to do because he had an authoritative position over them. That's what a lot of these dudes is doing. Just so we can be clear. A lot of these women, you know how many women that are teachers, that is out here sexing the kids? That maybe 1 in every 100 get caught. Maybe 1 in every 100. Maybe less than that. What do I know? But I'm saying all that to say this. Raz B did an interview for everybody that don't know. The interview that Raz B did, Raz B and the people are now saying that they got a cease and desist. It's a cease and desist. Just so we can be clear. Because they don't want the interview to come out. Now, I'm going to tell you why I don't think they want the interview to come out. Like I'm saying, I don't think it's Raz B. I mean, pardon me. I don't think it might not even be Chris Stokes that's doing all of this stuff to shut Raz B up. Chris Stokes might not have that type of power. It's probably a collective effort. And it's probably numerous people. Because one of Raz B's allegations is he was brought into a room one time and he was forced to do oral to Marcus Houston. That's what Raz B said. Raz B also said that while he was forced to do oral to Marcus Houston, Omarion was in there. And they was kind of like laughing at him or making fun of him or some shit like that. I seen this interview like 7-8 years ago. I seen this interview a while ago. He said these things. I don't know if they're the truth, but he said these things. So think about that. The R. Kelly situation, y'all know one of the things R. Kelly is in trouble for? R. Kelly's also in trouble for pimping out the girls that he's allegedly was molesting. They had one girl in particular that he used to pimp, that he allegedly pimped out. I forget the girl's name. I did videos on it. But they had one girl specifically that he was allegedly pimping out. He was flying the girl from one state to another to go have sex with other men. Now take that into consideration. When Raz B is doing all of this complaining, when Raz B is pissed off, and when Raz B is mad, think about that for a minute. Shout out to Corey Feldman. I believe it was Corey Feldman. Which one is the Corey that's still alive? Corey Feldman or Corey Hames? One of them is still alive. The one that's still alive with the dark hair, the shorter one, right? He said. Now, once again, these are allegations. I don't know how true these things are. These are allegations. But Corey Feldman, I believe that's Corey Feldman. I can't tell these guys apart. They're just the Coreys. So what he said is that you will be surprised at all of the people that was around in those rooms that he was in, that was old men and that wanted young boys. You would be surprised. He said he didn't even know how that, like, he didn't even understand. So once again, when we talk about this Raz B situation, are we saying that Raz B is saying that Chris Stokes was the only one? Or is he saying that Chris Stokes is the one that prepped him? I think them parents sold R. Kelly their kids too, but that doesn't make him different. Alright, Sharon McClain? It doesn't make him different. At least not different in a better way. That's the way I'll say it. And we don't know what Raz B's parents did. We don't know if Raz B's parents sold him to these people. What up, Aisha? We don't know if immature parents didn't sell them to the music industry. You don't think that that's kind of like what they did? They gave their kids over to a person that was going to take their kids away from them and send them back a check. What do you call it? I'm just curious. What do you call it? They gave their kids to somebody that was going to take their kids away from them and send them back a check. What do you call it? To be perfectly fair. That's what you always do when you have a child musician. Because it's not like child acting. Child acting, you could generally, mitigate that differently. But if your child is a musician, unless you're going to quit your job and follow them around, they go on tour. You have a child actor, you're going to go shoot and film somewhere for a couple of... What up, Bree Powell? Shout out to Bree Powell. The sniper! When you have a child actor... No. I'm not saying they sold... Wait. Who you talking about particularly, Aisha Stockton? I believe that they allowed R. Kelly some opportunities or some advantages that they wouldn't have given a normal man because of the position that R. Kelly held and their want to be inside of certain circles and to make certain advances in their careers. I could believe that. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I'm saying that that's something that I could 100% get behind, and I could believe that. That sounds believable to me. It doesn't sound like anything that's so extravagantly wild, like, oh man, how can you come up with that? Nah, that sounds pretty believable. Just being honest. Soleil! How you doing, baby girl? Yeah, that's a crime, period. Just so we can be clear. But so his mom gave up custody of Raz. She was on drugs. So you don't think somebody on drugs could say, "Here, take my kid. You want my kid?" give them like a couple of $1,000 and they're not gonna just sign their kid over. Somebody that's on drugs isn't gonna do that, right, Sharon? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand what you're saying, Sharon, just so I could be clear. Are you saying that a person on drugs, that got a whole drug problem, that signed their kid over to a whole nother grown man, wouldn't do that for money? Is that what you're saying? I'm curious. I just want to understand what you're saying, that's all. What up, DZ? DZ in here? I don't see DZ. DZ's not in here. There's a... Oh, I do see DZ. Hey, what's up, D? Oh, I saw DZ already. I said, what's up? I'm just curious. Is that what you're saying, Sharon? That somebody on drugs would never sell their child for more money. That's just not something that they would do. Okay, because just so we could be clear, I think that somebody on drugs would sell their child for money, and they literally have people doing that ain't even selling their kid for more than like $20 or $30. There's people literally doing that shit. They be busting these parents all the time. They got these drug problems that be pimping their kids out. That's all I'm saying. It happens. Or is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, I absolutely agree that that's a possibility. See all these names at? Did I say Eric Mack? Shout out to Eric Mack. Did I miss Eric Mack? Pardon me. It happens all the time, all over the world. That's a fact. I'm just trying to understand what she's saying. I just want to make sure that I don't want to misspeak. I don't want to misrepresent her comment. That's all. Well, just so we can be clear, I want to be clear on this. Raz B says that he wants to take a lie detector test. He says that he wants himself and Chris Stokes to take polygraph tests. I don't know what that's gonna do, because what I believe is okay. I think I understand why he want. Okay, so look. Okay, so that's what you're saying. Yeah, I believe that happens. I believe that happens. So look, check this out. This is what I'm going to say about the whole polygraph test. For everybody that don't know, polygraph tests are not admissible in the court of law. I know they're not admissible in criminal cases. I'm not sure about how admissible they are for civil cases. But as far as criminal cases go, polygraphs are not they're not admissible into court. For anybody that don't know this, they're not admissible. So I don't understand why he would want to take a polygraph test. Is this just because he wants the world to know what happened? Or is it because he wants the courts to stop allowing these cease and desist? Because what I'm going to assume is he doesn't want what up, Flower Bloom? How you doing, baby girl? What I'm going to assume is that he doesn't want the courts to keep allowing these freaking cease and desist, because that's messing up his he's trying to get a message out there. But I'm going to tell you what the problem is in 1 second. Let me tell you what the problem is. What up, Emmanuel? Emmanuel says, what up, Jack? Shout out to Goat9. Did you see FN Lucci girlfriend said he's coming home? So, every day I'll say that. So, only way he's coming home is if he snitch. Alright? Let's not even be coy. And he's still gotta wait for all that shit to go through. Ain't YWN Melly supposed to be coming home soon? And he's supposed to still be coming home soon? Ain't TK. TK's also coming home soon, right? I'm just saying. So check this out. On the cease and desist letter that was sent, there was no name. Allegedly, there was no name. This is what I read from what I read, right? So Chris Stokes' name is not on this paperwork. Well, yeah, but all I got is buildings. I got to get a new black background, Cuddy, for this show, because all I got is buildings. We can't have buildings in the background during the saloon. The courts, a complaining witness, a complainant can go to the courts and ask that their name not be on the or it could be if the people who got the complaint release what the name is, they can have they could get in trouble with the courts. So that's a possibility that they might want to be that the person is saying that they need protection. So that's why they don't want their name to be out. It's a possibility. That's a possibility. But I'm going to tell you what he's doing wrong. This is what I keep trying to explain to a lot of people. I get it, though. You're trying to live your regular life. You don't want to go through all of the BS. But when you want to come out and you want to talk about how something happened to you, you was a victim of something, but you're not actually going to any of the victims' causes. You're not showing up to the meetings that those people got to go through some kind of, to speak about it and to get, go to meetings. You're not speaking out and becoming an advocate. Like, if Raz B really wants the courts to take him seriously, he needs to become an advocate for child endangerment. Because once he starts becoming an advocate for child endangerment, he's going to have people in his corner. And them cease and desist letters is not going to work. He's going to have lawyers of his own. Those companies, those businesses. He's gonna have companies of his own. Anyway, let's get 5 to 10 $10 drops of the Cash App, y'all. Come on, let's go. He's gonna have help of his own. And I think that that's the problem with a lot of these individuals when they try to say that they was in a abusive relationship, they were molested as children, they were any type of thing where you are a victim, but you also do not want to get involved in the activities that normal victims actually participate in to get through their struggle. You understand? So that's an issue. So that's why I'm not gonna call no names, but when we had a previous individual that said that they was involved with they was in an abusive relationship, my advice was, well, then maybe you should go speak to people who have the same problems you have or had, because then what you're gonna do is you're gonna create a narrative and you're gonna show that you was a victim. It's not gonna just be a situation where you're gonna be telling it. You understand what I'm saying? So I believe Raz B, by the way, just so we can be clear. Check why I believe Raz B. I don't think anybody. I think they only had one kid that could even sing. Right? It was only a Marion, right? Whatever kid in B2K could sing. It was a Marion, basically, right? That was the only one that could sing, right? Could any of the other kids in B2K sing? I'm curious. Y'all can help me out over here? I don't know that I don't know their music. I don't listen to shit like that. But can any of the other kids sing? Or was Omarion the only one that could sing? Chris Stokes had immature running around in underwear. Batman underwear, all types of other weirdo stuff like that. The hell was that about? So I don't think do anybody know if any of the other kids in B2K can sing? I'm curious. That's a real question. Because I don't think they could. I don't know if they could even sing. Flower Bloom said, yeah, Frost, he been speaking out about this for a long time. Also, he had someone on the phone he was talking to admitting what happened. I think there was another person in the actual group at one time that admitted what happened and then backtracked off of what they were saying. Right? Or am I wrong? I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. Flower Bloom said the person probably didn't know they were being recorded. So the other day I was having a conversation with somebody, right? I don't talk over the phone much. So if you're an individual who I talk over the phone with, your conversation is important to me. Yo, look at the name, Lil Fizz. Like, y'all don't think there's nothing questionable about that name? Hold on. Hold on. You don't think there's nothing questionable about that name, Lil Fizz? You know what a raspberry is? When you give somebody a raspberry, do you know what that is? When you give somebody a raspberry, do you know what that is? Resto's a troll. Don't pay no attention. I'm not going to kick them right now. There's no reason to. A raspberry is when you go down to somebody's belly button and like go like that. You know that, right? You know that's what a raspberry is, right? So one kid's name was Raz B, and the other kid's name was Lil Fizz. And you trying to tell me, and Chris Stokes gave him these names, by the way, I believe. And you're trying to tell me, that there wasn't nothing going on there? Tell me where I'm wrong. Ain't that what a raspberry is? In the old time, ain't that what a raspberry is? You go down to the person's belly button and you do the with your lips and shit. Ain't that what a raspberry is? Raz B? I'm just saying. Lil Fizz? You want to know when your girlfriend is almost always going to ask you if you cheating on her? I'm going to tell you when your girlfriend is almost always going to ask you when you cheating on her. Yeah, he did. Marcus Houston's nickname was Batman, remember? He was Batman. Bat Man, hold on. You want to know when your girl is almost always going to ask you if you're cheating on her? You want to know when your girl is almost always going to ask you if you're cheating on her? Guys, y'all know? I just want to see if somebody's going to give me an answer real quick before I say what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say it. When you have a low ejaculation, like if for whatever the reason is, you and your girl is having intimate times, and you only have a low ejaculation, she's almost always going to turn over at some point and say, are you seeing somebody else? But the point I'm trying to make is, his name was Lil Fizz. I don't know. I kind of believe Raz B, man. Yeah, I believe Ray J probably was a victim also. I mean, I've never really paid attention to it. So that's all I'm saying. These dudes even had questionable names for kids, man. I'm not gonna lie. When I seen their names, when I was young and I seen their names and they first came out on the scene and whatever, and I was like that's one of the main reasons why I never J Boog. That's one of the main reasons why I never listened to their music. Besides the fact that I just wouldn't listen to their music anyway. Besides the fact I would just never listen to their music anyway. That's one of the main reasons why I never listened to their music. Because their names just didn't fit. Like, I don't understand why they have these names. And then the one guy has a regular name, Omarion, but all the other guys is named some weird shit. Everybody else is named some weird shit. But Omarion has a regular name? Why? Lil Fizz? Raz B? What kind of shit is that? The business says them dudes was in their drawers all in the same bed together. We all seen the all in the same bed together. We all seen the picture. It's clear. I'm gonna have to agree. I'm not gonna let that go through. And in the 40s and the 50s, white people did. They named their kids Richard, which is a good strong name. I don't know how it turns into that other thing, but don't forget, there's a guy named Dick Clark, right? Dick Clark, and we don't know him as Richard Clark. I don't know what to tell you. Raz B says Lil Fizz was the first victim. Wow. Dick Cheney, thank you. It's a name. We don't even think about it no more when we think about these guys' names. We don't even think about it. Dick Van Dyke, that's probably the only one that you actually still do think about the other thing, and that's because his last name is Van Dyke. Dick Gregory, nobody calls him Richard Gregory. So I don't know. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at that situation. What y'all think? Who think Raz B is telling the truth? Who think Raz B is bullshitting? I just want to be clear on something. If what Homeboy is saying is true, just so we can be perfectly transparent, if what Raz B is saying is true, Omarion can't complain about none of them dudes smashing this girl. You want to know why? One of Raz B's stories is, look at what one of Raz B's stories is. What up, Angel Crispin? You want to know what one of Raz B's stories is? What up, DSTN? One of Raz B's stories is they forced him to go down on, they told him he had to go down on Marcus Houston. Omarion was in the room. Everybody was sitting around like there was nothing wrong, like it was a regular day, having a normal conversation while he was giving Marcus Houston head. And Omarion was in there, and Omarion was part of the victimizing also. Allegedly. What up, Crisis Black? Salute. Yeah, we taking call-ins today. Also, don't Marcus Houston have a new wife or something like that? And she like just turned 18? I'm just saying. So you married her when she turned 18? How? How? Don't people be together like a year or two before they get married? Oops. I just want this to be known right now. Jack Frost has no want to marry an 18-year-old. Jack Frost has no want to marry the average 25-year-old. Just so we can be clear. Just so we can be clear. Okay, Bresto says Raz B is definitely telling the truth. He recanted his story too many times. That's why people discredit what he's saying. They trying to call him a liar and that he's crazy. Little Fizz was the first one abused. It's true. What up, Salty Sacks Creation? I think there's a belief that he comes out when he needs money. And then they pay him off, then he go away. I think that there is a belief about that. Manuel says, yo, Jack, I don't want an 18-year-old. Like, what? Like, Omarion is how old? Like, an 18-year-old, though? Like, okay, she was 23, 24, you Omarion, I get it. But an 18-year-old? I mean, not Omarion, Marcus Houston, an 18-year-old? Like, I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I guess if an 18-year-old started following me around every day, I'd probably marry her too. Damn near any attractive woman start following me around every day, I might marry him. A lot of these parents that give their kids up got drug problems. Remember, the same thing happened to Lil Wayne. I think a lot of these dudes don't admit because a lot of them become victimizers and they might feel ashamed of the things that they did, so they can't admit what happened to them. That's what you got to understand. hold on. I just wanna explain something to people real quick. A lot of times people are victimized and they don't come forward. It's because they also become a victimizer, and therefore they don't want to speak about what happened to them because they don't want it to come up what they did. You understand what I'm saying? So when you got an individual out there that's screaming with the top of their lungs that something happened to them, let's be a little bit, I'm not saying they telling the truth, but let's be a little bit more open-minded. Yeah, I believe Raz B. I believe him. Once again, if you have a boy band and then as soon as that boy band grow into adulthood, you leave and go make another boy band, I'm gonna assume it's because you want boy bands. I don't know no way to put that. No, I don't remember when he got knocked out online. I'm just saying. Because I'm thinking like this. If I got a group and we're doing well, oh man, I can't wait for us to become adults. Because when that group become adults, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna be in a bigger market. No, I'm on your side, Watch Games. Personally, I don't even think a person is and mentally adult, like mentally, until they were about 25 years old at the minimum. Until somebody hit like 25 years old, they don't know enough about life to be able to make it. Because I remember before I was 25 years old, I thought I knew a lot, but I knew a lot, but I didn't really know anything. You understand what I'm saying? Like I knew the mechanics, but I didn't have a fair understanding of the reasoning or whatever it was. You know, 1 second. Anyway, let's get 5 to 10 $10 drops to the Cash App, y'all. Come on, let's go. If you're younger than, come pull up to the Saloon. What the fuck? We have a whole Saloon show. If you're younger than 27, I see you. Yeah, I'm in agree. If look, I'm like this, right? All right, so I'm a lot older, right? So people like telling me about how old I am. I think people think I like young girls. I don't. I like females that are not problematic. All right, so right there, if not problematic, I don't want a problematic situation. That's it. That's it. I don't want a problematic situation. Obviously, I want to be with somebody I find attractive. I don't want a problematic situation. That's about it. Just to keep it a stack. That's about it. The fuck? So like that's me personally. Um it's just that I know how much I didn't know when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. Like now I know how much I didn't know. Like I'm learning new shit every day. You understand what I'm saying? I just understand now there's certain things I just don't want to be involved in. Like I'm gonna tell you something right now, right? You have people who they want to go viral. I'm searching for consistency more than anything else. Viral is dope though, right? We went viral a couple of times over here. That's dope. But more importantly than anything else, it makes me feel good as a person when I know that I'm having a positive impact on the things around me, on shit that's inside of my solar system. When I know that I'm having a positive impact on things inside of my solar system, that makes me feel good. What up, Stay High? I haven't seen you in a stupid long time. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel. That makes me feel good. IG is fine. Hit me on IG. Hold on. Let me get this thing. Hit me on IG. I don't have a Zoom thing up at the moment. If I would have knew beforehand, I could have sent out the invites. Hit me on IG. So I think that's important. I think I want to positively have a positive impact on the shit that's inside of my solar system. The people that I come into contact with, the people that I become familiar with, the situations that I become a part of. I want to be a positive impact to those things, right? So I say all that to say, when you do social media for a living, you're going to have more people that are going to be low vibration that's going to want to lower your vibration, and you're going to have people that's going to want to raise your vibration. So that's something that I personally got to struggle with, because I don't vibrate low. So low vibrations just, it fuck with me and it pisses me off, and I gotta be more understanding about that. JC says, I think Chris Stokes is I'm gonna erase the comment because you put we don't use the F word, but I'm gonna read the comment first. I think Chris Stokes is a chomo. What man will come out with these kinds of allegations? That would be embarrassing, brother. Well, the allegation in itself isn't proof that anything happened, just so we could be clear. But I think that there are a lot of red flags, especially involving the groups that he has been a party of, that I'm not gonna lie, I always thought B2K and Immature were both gay. I've always thought that. It never even, because I was a little kid, I was young myself, so it never even entered my brain that that it's a possibility that they could have been being molested. I always thought they was gay. Like, there is no part of me that ever since I saw the first B2K video, I said, what in the hell? Also understand that I didn't understand marketing towards the female, the female demographic at that time. So that's also what they were doing. They were marketing towards the female demographic by being sexualized, as kids. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Did you see? I grew up with New Edition. They had all the young girls going crazy, but as a boy group, I didn't get the vibes that they were being sexualized, even with the content that they were speaking on. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there wasn't the overabundance of just sexual gestures. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I used to look at them like, what the fuck? Part of my language, but like, that's how I used to look at it. Like, this, so I never was on B2K. I didn't even listen to any of them dudes till Omarion came out with his album, and then the main reason why I started listening to that was because besides it was really good, is because the first time I even listened to one of the songs off of there, I was working at this job, and this lady was like, grown ass woman talking about how she wanted to bang Omarion. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, if I could get my hands on him. Oh, hold on, I missed that. I don't know. I think my nothing rang. Y'all right here. Nobody heard anything ring. Nothing rang. I don't know what's up with my IG. Somebody called my IG this morning. It did not ring. My IG just is not ringing, y'all. Stay High. I'm calling them right now. Stay High says the plan was turn them out because you know what happens when they get girlfriends. I guess, yeah. Girls always break the groups up, right? Ask what's the chick that was messing with dude from the Beatles? Yo, what up, my brother? Yo, let everybody say what's up. It's a crisis black. Chilling. You in your home you down there in Florida right now, right now, right, brother?
I'm in Florida now. I'm in Florida now. You know what I mean? It's been a blessing. It was a little bit of a hard road to get here, but I'm here now. And I just wanted to check in with you because I seen that you have more of a open forum a little bit happening today. But I also wanted to kind of chime in on this whole pedophilia thing that's happening in the music industry and the entertainment industry in general.
Copy.
You know what I mean? For those of you who don't know, so I did music for about 18 years before I got into the cannabis business.
Copy.
You know what I mean? And one of the things that allowed me to operate the way I operated was because you remember Dave Chappelle said he had a conversation with his dad, and his dad was like, "Yo, have your red line, the line that you won't cross, and when that price gets called, you walk away from it."
Yeah.
That's the same thing that an OG put me onto when I first got into the music. They're like, "Yo, make sure you have your red line, what you won't be willing to go past to get where you're trying to go. Because if you don't have that, you end up like Lil Fizz. Like Lil Fizz, look, let's not make no mistake. That's mental health issues that he's dealing with.
Raz B or Little Fizz? We talking about Raz B.
My bad, Raz B, not Lil Fizz. Which one's the light-skinned one with the big lips?
That's Raz B. I think.
Okay,
I don't know how Little Fizz
Raz B.
looks, so it could be him also. Keep going.
No, you're right. So the thing is that them dudes was young, but they didn't have no red line. So because they had no red line, when they were confronted with these weirdo situations, and then a lot of times, not for nothing, their parents just be selling them out. Their parents be selling them out. And next thing you know, they out here getting pimped out and doing whatever. Look at who's not feeling some type of way. Marcus Houston don't feel some type of way about Chris Stokes. Omarion don't feel some type of way about Chris Stokes. But Marcus Houston and Omarion are related. So what does that tell you?
Wait,
that tells you that they may have already been sold out by the parents.
That's a fact.
So for them, it was normal.
That's a fact.
Whereas for everybody else, it wasn't normal. And it's funny because you mentioned the names, like, everybody got a weirdo name except for Omarion. Like,
that's a fact.
but that's some true shit though.
Yeah.
Like they all got weirdo names. But who's to say that was their names in the beginning? That may not have been their name in the beginning.
No, Chris Stokes gave them those names as far as from what I remember. Yeah, he gave them fucking names. Lil Fizz. I don't know what to tell you, man. It sounds like his ejaculations wasn't coming out too strong. That's what it sounds like.
And then
Raz
also,
B.
Also, just so people understand, because this happens to men and women.
Yes, that's
it's not just like this Jaguar. What's her name? Jaguar Wright or whatever her name is.
Yes.
Like a lot of what she's saying, some of it sounds bugged out, right? But if you actually were around in the '90s, you would know that a lot of what she's saying is actually true.
Let me tell you a story real quick. So, I'm not gonna lie. I think, especially in the '90s, I just grew up with and I was around a lot of people that was around the business, just in general. You'll be surprised at the actual people that I know that worked on music with people like De La Soul, people like Busta Rhymes, you know, you'd be surprised. So the point I'm trying to make is, I used to know this dude that was a barber, right? But he was also, he made beats. So he told me he had a dude come into his shop like a couple of times a month, and the dude was fucking Puffy. Pardon me. And allegedly, the dude had a sexual relationship with Puff Daddy. And the dude used to come in the barbershop and talk about their relationship sexually. Allegedly. So that's when I first started really understanding. Allegedly. So that's when I first started really understanding, and I was young. So that's when I first started really understanding, yo, like there's really a lot of things going on in hip hop that I know I don't want to be a part of, because it's not who I am. It's not part of my character. It's not acceptable to me. You feel me? And I'm not knocking individuals who live an alternative lifestyle. Please do as you wish. Yeah, not at all. What's up? What's that? Hey, check this out, y'all. Oh shit, I think fell.
That's Bruce Lee. That's Bruce Lee right there.
Yeah, hold on. I want to show everybody. It's just this shit fell right here. For everybody that don't know, I propped the computer up so I could get even a better angle for you guys. So, that shit's dope. You notice how dark they made him though?
Yeah, because he in real life, he wasn't nearly as pale as he looked in the movies.
Exactly.
But, right.
So, dude used to come in the, and I'm not saying he was telling the truth, just so we can be clear. He could have been lying. What do I know? But dude used to come in the barbershop, and the homeboy told me, he was like, yo. And then I was like, because I didn't, you know, at this point in my life, I would have never thought that Puff Daddy would be involved in anything like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So when the dude came into the barbershop, when the dude told me about homeboy that came into the barbershop, at first I thought he was bullshitting. You understand what I'm saying? But then after I started paying a little bit closer attention to some of Biggie's lines, some of what Biggie was saying, some of the stuff Biggie said, Biggie was putting people on the game. Like, Biggie might have died for something that had nothing to do with Tupac, but that's a whole nother story.
Right. No. We need to do a special day to have that conversation, because that's a conversation that a lot of people may not be willing to accept or understand.
Biggie, if you listen to Biggie's lines, Biggie says a lot of things in his raps that alludes to Puff being gay. Biggie says a lot of bars that alludes to just gay shit in general revolving around Puff Daddy. And and people that don't know, Biggie Smalls was actually leaving Bad Boy. For the people that don't know, Biggie Smalls was leaving Bad Boy. He was starting up his own label. For the people that don't know. Huh? Yeah, so for the people that don't know. So, when I started finding out more about, started paying closer attention to the Biggie lines and stuff like that, then I was like, yo, hold on. Homeboy, he's over here. He's spitting facts over here. He is not bullshitting. He's possible. Puff Daddy might be out here doing things. But I don't care. I didn't care though, because what the fuck do I care if somebody is, that's your life. So I don't want to equate Chris Stokes to anything Puffy did. I never heard of any allegations against Puffy and any children. So, whoa, wait, hold on. Puffy did sleep in the bed with
I was just about to say. I was just about to say. Listen, here's the thing. The thing is this: when it comes to this music industry, what we all have to remember is that it's like a brotherhood. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that if you want success, you have to be willing to give something up. Mm-hmm. I remember being told when I did my first album, it was the album called Manic Depression. Mm. And A&R for Atlantic Records at the time was like, hey, this is dope, but I don't know if you want to be on the radar of the type of people who are going to be paying attention to what you're saying in this album. because I was, I grew up as a 5%er. A lot of the stuff I was saying was on that 5%er type of vibe. You know what I mean? And they were like, yo, I don't know if you want to be on the radar of certain people who will be paying attention to what you're saying. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm going to speak my truth. Like, what the fuck? I didn't care. But the thing is that what I learned after that was that by speaking a certain way in the music, it's like the brother that you put on from, I think he was from Channel Live, the dude who was talking about.
No, I know you're talking about Poor Righteous Teacher.
Poor Righteous Teacher.
Yeah, keep going.
Right. So it was almost like that, because once you start speaking on a certain wavelength, all of a sudden there becomes a glass ceiling. That glass ceiling didn't exist before you started speaking that way. But once you started speaking that way, that glass ceiling manifests itself. It's similar to what you see happening to Ice Cube right now. Right now, Ice Cube is all types of coon and shit. People don't even, people are trying to cancel Ice Cube. Why the fuck are you going to cancel Ice Cube?
That didn't even make sense.
Pardon me for cussing, but for real, like, how? There's no way in hell we can cancel Ice Cube. No way. Because he's literally one of the forefathers of modern hip hop.
No, absolutely.
But they tried to do it. All because of the fact that he started speaking too much truth. And when he did it, it rubbed certain people the wrong way who have influence. You know what I mean? And these are the people who, unfortunately, because they have influence, it allows them to feel like. The weird thing about entertainment is it's more about power than it is about money. I want to tell everybody something on who's listening to you live right now. I want all of y'all to understand that the average individual who has a record deal is making 8 cents per album. 8 cents per album. That means that in order for them to make 40,000, they have to sell 500,000 units. This is why people like Troy Ave are smarter than the dudes who are chasing record deals.
Facts.
Because a dude like Troy Ave is making upwards of $3 and $4 per album. So if he sells 10,000 albums, he's still making more than the record deal holder who is only selling 13 or 50,000 albums.
He tried to explain that to people. Remember when he went on the Breakfast Club? Troy Ave goes on the Breakfast Club, right? I forgot who it was. I think Charlamagne was trying to knock him for his low album sales. It was like, yo, you didn't even sell these many albums or whatever. And then Troy Ave's like, yeah, but it don't matter how many. It don't matter that I didn't sell as many albums as X, Y, and Z. Rapper.
Insert name here.
Yeah. Insert name. Because I'm making more money than them anyway. Because I'm making the money. Like they're making someone else rich. That money that those Bentleys and them cars and them jewels and all that stuff that you see these individuals with, that they don't even own half of that stuff. That stuff is owned by the record label. The record label bought them that so they could look good. That stuff, they don't even own that. Those houses they don't own. Like when you hear about these rappers getting kicked out of a house, they're not getting kicked out of a house that they actually own. They didn't own those houses. They getting kicked out of. The record label is telling them they gotta leave. That's it. And then somebody else is gonna move in that spot. That's it.
Facts. Now, mind you, I learned about this at a young age from the white boys, because the white boys were the ones who put me on to the independent grind. They were like, look, I knew one dude, his name was Raul. He used to be a part of a group called Darkest Hour. They were a rock band way back in the early 90s. This dude never had a hit on the radio, but yet he owned 3 houses and bought his mom's house and bought her a boat. And the thing is all of this was from the independent grind. So when he put me onto that, that's why I stopped chasing the record deal. And instead, I did everything independent, And then the only kind of deals I would sign were developmental deals where I would ghostwrite for other people. The thing that sucks about ghostwriting is, and I don't know how this dude who fucks with Drake is able to talk about what he does. You know what I mean? Because from what I know about ghostwriting, you're not supposed to be able to talk about what you do.
Nah, that's a fact. You going on here?
You know what I mean? So I had to be able to ghostwrite for Atlantic Records, their developmental talent, but I could never take credit for what I was doing, which is okay by me. I didn't mind because the money was nice, and I took the money. But what I also understood is that I wasn't going to cross a certain line. There was a certain line that in order for you to cross that line, you had to be willing to give something up about yourself. And I wasn't willing to do that. So because I wasn't willing to do that, this ghostwriting gig was as far as I was gonna go. You know what I mean? This was the glass ceiling, for lack of a better term. Because anything beyond that would have required me to give up more than I was willing to give up. And I wasn't gonna give up that at all. Because I have too much self-respect. You know what I mean? My belief in myself and my self-respect, because of the woman who raised me, my mother, like I will never allow myself to just be played in a manner where somebody else has something over me. Anybody who wants to know some real shit, go read Mark Curry's book, Dancing with the Devil, How Diddy Burned the Bad Boys of Hip Hop. Go read that book. Go read that book.
You can tell us anything in the book?
What was that?
You can tell us about anything in the book?
I'll say this much. Everything he says about the record industry is 100% accurate. If you want to go from Craig Mack to Biggie Smalls, you have to give something up. And if you look at their careers, they both had hits at the same time.
Yeah.
But one of them kept going up, the other one disappeared.
And Craig Mack's that Flavor in Your Ear, that was absolutely phenomenal. That song, they remixed the shit out of that song, and the remix for the song blew up.
14 remixes. I've never seen that many remixes for one song ever.
Like, don't Diddy own the rights to the? Don't Diddy own the rights to the term remix or some shit like that?
Yeah. Because Diddy invented a remix. There is no such thing as a remix without P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? But again, look at that. And if you read Mark Curry's book, you'll understand, because Mark Curry breaks it all down. He breaks it all down. And he breaks it down in a way that's slightly disheartening if you're somebody who believes in the facade of the music industry.
Right. What's up, Liberty Hazelton? We got Liberty Hazelton in the house. Yo, I definitely like that. I think that was a great example you just brought up, because that Flavor in Your Ear. First of all, and then it came out he didn't even write Flavor in Your Ear. Did he really write Flavor in Your Ear? Did somebody else write that?
No. So from what I understand, and it's just me, I don't know. Maybe I don't know how real this is. But from what I understand, LL Cool J wrote that.
LL Cool J wrote it? Oh, okay. I heard somebody else wrote it.
But I could be wrong. That's why they put him on the remix, though, from what I understand.
Okay. I heard it might have been Redman, but I mean, what the hell do I know?
Hey, Redman's my favorite rapper of all time. Redman's the reason why I started rapping.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Redman wrote it. Because if you remember, There Is a Dark Side that came out around the same time. And Redman was already on that type of tip that Craig Mack was on. And the There Is a Dark Side album was a very funkadelic, psychedelic type of album. Like, you couldn't just, you had to really listen to that album with a real a real writer's ear when you listen to it. You know what I mean? But again, I could be wrong. I don't know. I was told that LL Cool J wrote it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did.
We talking to Crisis Black. For everybody that don't know who we talking to Crisis Black right now. Salute to the home.
Oh, yeah. Salute.
All right.
BBN all day.
All right. So that's
Fuck the haters.
Yeah, haters could go take warm showers. I don't know. Shout out.
Yeah, look, Frost can't say it, and I'm not gonna get him demonetized by cussing too much. But what I will say, just for this one moment, is the haters can eat all the dicks.
Oh man,
they can eat all the dicks.
Could we just not say it at all? God dang it! Could y'all stop getting me in trouble with YouTube? For real. Please stop getting me in trouble with YouTube. I do prefer the D word to the F word all day, every day.
It's just that I have a problem whenever people come to you with the so and so is hating on you nonsense. Yeah. Like I don't want to hear that stuff. Yeah. Like don't tell me who's hating on you.
Tell me what you
tell
did.
Me what you did.
There you go. Tell me what you did. Don't tell me what they doing.
Right.
With that being said, we're doing. We was talking about the correct mic. So
look. So you said about Redman, right? So here's the thing. Let's bring this back to the whole pedophile thing. This wasn't new news about Diddy. This isn't new news about Clive Davis. This isn't new news about Quincy Jones. This isn't new news about Russell Simmons. This isn't new news about a lot of dudes. It's just that the reason why it's new to us now is because we didn't pay attention to it because we were distracted by the music. You know what I mean? Like think about this for a second, right? Because me and you are around the same age. Think about this for a second. Do you remember when people first said that R. Kelly was dating Aaliyah?
Yeah.
And do you remember how people kind of like brushed over it, like it wasn't a weird thing?
Yeah. Like it was acceptable. Like there was nothing wrong with it. Especially when it came out that they got married.
Exactly.
And Fat Joe, shout out to Big Hats. Big Hats said Fat Joe said the gay mafia runs hip hop. Fat Joe did say that.
Fat Joe did say that. Yo, shout out to Fat Joe. Fat Joe, I'm surprised that he didn't get canceled because he said a lot of real stuff over the years that would have led to him getting canceled, and he hasn't been canceled yet. You know what I mean? So shout out to Fat Joe, for real. You know what I mean? That he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. Like honestly, Frost, one of the reasons why I walked away from the music is because of the fact that I did everything I needed to do and that I wanted to do without compromising my principles or my morals. And once I reached that ceiling, where in order for me to go further, I had to compromise something, I walked away.
Okay, so this is the way I look at it, right? See, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, it was different because the internet didn't exist. So therefore, in order to be an actual star, you literally had to have some kind of backing from the industry. There was no choice. We wouldn't be able to have a Troy Ave at the way that we have a Troy Ave nowadays.
Right. Nobody was independent back then.
Because first of all, Troy Ave would still only be able to sell to his neighborhood. He wouldn't be able to get the word out all over the world. Right. See, that's the thing. What people forget is 50 Cent was the best guerrilla marketing rapper maybe of all time ever. Yes.
In history. He's literally like, look, I gotta interrupt you on that because people don't understand. People like to hate 50 Cent because he's a troll. 50 Cent is literally the greatest guerrilla marketing person in history. he took top 10 Billboard hits, got the instrumentals, did completely different songs to those instrumentals, dropped them on his mixtapes as albums, and then made money off of it.
Well, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. But the reason why I'm saying I believe he is because he turned his he went from being an individual that was blackballed in the industry. He was blackballed for everybody that don't know. That's a whole fact. He was blackballed. He was blackballed in the industry. One of the reasons why he was blackballed has to deal with he really did, I believe, rob drug dealers, and the drug dealers that he actually were robbing allegedly, if he really, I'm not saying there was allegations out there that 50 Cent really was out there robbing drug dealers, and the drug dealers that he was allegedly robbing.
I love you, Foz. I love you, Foz. You know, Bengal Smurf's my OG. Bengal Smurf was my OG, so yeah.
Okay, so belong to the Supreme Team, and that's how come the beef started. Well, if it wasn't already there, those are allegations. I don't know how true this is. Allegedly. Supreme Kenneth Supreme McGriff eventually ended up getting locked up and going to jail. These are facts. He's locked up. He's going to jail. They're trying to say that he was the head of a drug kingpin. Allegedly, this drug kingpin was getting robbed by 50 Cent. And
all I'm gonna say is Bengal Smurf is the big homie. And
okay, so
I knew about 50 before a lot of people knew about 50.
So 50 Cent went from being basically blackballed in the industry, because for everybody that don't know, the biggest artist around that time was freaking Ja Rule. For everybody that don't know, Ja Rule was damn near the biggest artist at that time. Was he not? Was he not?
Facts.
Ja Rule was just dropping hit after damn hit. It was retarded. So he was getting blackballed in the industry.
Actually, technically DMX was the biggest artist. If we're talking about records.
Well, okay, so yeah, DMX dropped 2 platinum albums in 1 year, so we're not questioning none of that. But what I'm saying is, as far as commercial viability at that point, freaking this dude, he was one of the biggest artists. We could say that without question.
You're right.
Getting blackballed because he's beefing with one of the biggest artists, to then there being a damn fucking race to see who could sign him. Because remember, after they blackballed him and they wanted to keep him out of the industry, then all of a sudden everybody wanted to sign him, and it was a race to everybody to sign him. And I think one of the main reasons why he went and signed with Eminem and Dre is because all of the New York labels didn't want to touch him, and they was treating him dirty. And 50 Cent hold a grudge. So as soon as everybody started paying attention to 50 Cent, they wanted to give 50 Cent some money to go do a thing, he was like, nah, see, I don't fuck with you. Remember before? You ain't messed with me before, right?
People forget that 50 is a cancer. Cancers don't forget nothing. That beef is as fresh in their mind today as it was the day it started. And that's how 50, that's how he carries himself.
What up, James?
So that's how my OG describes it to me. Like, look, my OG don't hate 50.
Because they did have problems. Keep going.
But he don't hate him though. He don't hate him because he understands him. He knows the way he is.
Copy.
Know what I mean? And it's like, because he knows the way he is, he understands that this is the mentality that 50 is looking at it from. A cancer is gonna feel like this shit just happened yesterday. It doesn't matter if it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. For him, it feels like it happened just yesterday. So he's still going to carry the same energy today as he would have 20 years ago.
Copy. So, 50 Cent, the best marketing rapper I don't think. And then if you look at him now, all the movies he's done been a part of, he went. See, this is just to show you how smart he is. They gave him $250 million to play with. Instead of him just making one big blockbuster film, you want to know what he did? He made a whole lot of little movies here and there.
He started a film company
Boom,
called Cheetah
boom,
Films.
boom. So that's what you do.
He took that money and started a film company.
Yeah.
So for all of y'all listening on this line, this is the type of shit, because y'all don't be paying attention, man. Y'all don't be paying attention. And I'm not trying to diss the BBN fam, because that's not what we do around here. But a lot of y'all don't pay attention to what Frost is actually saying. Like, what Frost is actually saying with a lot of the stuff that he's trying to do is that.
That's a fact.
Like, he's out here trying to get. This isn't called the BBN channel.
No.
It's called the BBN network. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that a network, the difference between a channel and a network, the network means that there's all types of content on it.
Facts.
Sports, news, hip hop, politics, everything is on there. Everything is on there.
We're about to start. Just I'm gonna mention this. I'm not even gonna mention. I'm gonna keep this a secret. Keep going. I was gonna mention something.
So what I want people to understand is that, okay, Frost is in the hotel, right? It's not because of the fact that Frost can't get into no damn room. He can get into a room or an apartment, but he has a vision that's bigger than what we're currently seeing. So he's trying to get to a point where he can manifest that vision as well. He doesn't want to just move from where he's at to something that's going to be a struggle. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to move from where he's at to something that will be able to bring more content and more useful content to the community.
That's a fact, though. I try not to talk about this, but I do want to say something since you brought it up. I don't have nowhere to go. Like, I don't have to stay in a hotel. But if I go to the places that I have to go, I won't be able to do BBN. I'm not gonna have the ability to go live stream in the morning. I'm not gonna be able to live stream at night because I'm gonna be somewhere where there's gonna be other people that they're gonna need to get their rest. I'm gonna be somewhere where there's gonna be other people that they're gonna need to wake up in the morning. That they're gonna need to, if I'm doing a live and the live stretches up to 11 o'clock at night, that's gonna be a hindrance to other people's lives. I'm gonna be somewhere where if I wake up in the morning and I'm trying to do morning coffee, some people might still be asleep for whatever the reason might be, or some people might be this, or some people, and I might be in the way. So I say all that to say this: the reason why I'm still in a hotel, it has less to do with me not having nowhere to go, and more to do with the fact that I need to be able to, when I leave here, go somewhere else, my own spot, where I can be able to keep doing what we're doing. Because what is this? That's why I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they felt like they was like, yo, they feel like I'm gonna give up or some shit like that. Yo, my dude, if I was gonna give up doing this, I would have been gave up doing this. If I can't even explain to you. My taxes is gonna look good. That's the best way I could put it, because I'm gonna be able to write all of this hotel shit off on taxes. Boom. But if I showed y'all how much it costs to stay in a hotel for a month, some of y'all might try to fucking rip me a fucking room. Some of y'all might come to me and be like, yo, Jack, I got space over here. Why don't you come stay with me? All you got to do is pay me half of that. you know, and it'll still be more than whatever is somebody's rent, more than whatever somebody's expenses. It's hard for me to look. we're gonna get up out of here. The problem is right now credit. Just so we can be clear, the problem isn't money; it's credit. The problem is when I'm trying to get into a spot, I never really actually created any credit, so I gotta now spend 2-3 months creating credit, so I could be able to go, and when they go look at my credit sheet, it don't say they can find me. I can't even be found at this point.
Yeah, because you weren't in that realm.
No, I wasn't doing. I paid everything cash.
Right.
So I wasn't even in that. So that's what that issue in that situation is. So that's why when I be seeing people come into the chat and they be like trying to make fun of me about being in a hotel, and I'm busy thinking, like, do you think you could stay in a hotel for 1 month, nevertheless 5 months off of the money you make? Like, and I'm not even being disrespectful. I'm just keeping it a stack.
No.
Not you. I'm talking about the haters. What up, Queen Shot? Not you. I'm talking about the haters. Like
I know. You remember I sent you the name of the dude who kept it here.
Yeah. Like what the hell? Like, there's no way. What they're trying to do is they're trying to mess up my situation, so I have to quit the BBN network, and I have to just. They trying to force me to have to quit the BBN network. So they trying to stop everybody from doing drops. They're trying to make the channel look bad.
Not even understanding that every YouTuber, if you're a YouTuber and you do YouTube content, if YouTube content is your primary objective, you survive off of donations.
Not just that, but just so we could be clear, I don't even get you guys are great. Do not get this confused. But there's people that get astronomically more than I get. It's like, and I'm not saying that because I'm like, but I'm just saying. So that just goes to show you the problem that these people have with me is a personal issue. You understand what I'm saying? It don't got nothing to do with me doing anything wrong or me being a bad person. It's just a personal issue, and they just want bad things to happen to me. That's it.
Right. No, that's facts. And the thing is that I see other channels that get donations for saying stuff that are not nearly as informative, if that makes sense. Like, they do what they do. But
I'll be put it like this. Every time we talk about a topic, why do people that involved in the topic pull up? Why do people that know the individuals that I'm talking about pull up if I don't know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm saying. I mean, with that being said, if anybody wants to do...
Facts. Because every time, for us, every time you ever talk about a topic, you always have... It's weird because, like, you'll start talking about a topic and you'll start making a certain amount of sense, and then out of nowhere, somebody comes in who's hating out of nowhere. Like, and the way they come in is almost like as if they've been watching the whole time.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for that moment to actually chime in. And then they start chiming in and just hating and making no sense. And then it's like, yo, all right, get the fuck out of here.
And then I'm not respecting their opinion because in their opinion isn't anything other than that I'm wrong. But I don't want to stay on that topic. It's cool. It is what it is. If anybody wants to do a drop to the Cash App, we are still accepting $5 to $10 drops to the Cash App. If not, you don't have to do anything.
Right. And I also want people to understand that when you do your deep dives, you don't have to do the deep dives. You can easily, listen, I personally told you that your deep dives should be saved for Patreon or Discord where people got to pay to be on the server. But because of the type of person that you are, you like to give the information to the people.
Okay, so I want to say a couple of things real quick. I asked you about the situation with the Discord a while back. So we're gonna get the Discord server up. I already erased all the servers on the Discord. I believe I got rid of all of the servers on the Discord. I'm about to reset the Discord from ground zero. So what we're gonna have on the Discord server, just so we could be clear, is I'm gonna start having content that we're not, that's only gonna be for the BBN ears, period. For our people that are members of the channel, we're gonna be we're gonna allow people on that's just at every level, but once you get to bag swingers and up, there's just gonna be certain things that you're gonna be able to acquire that others can't. We have a thing that we're gonna be trying to do come next week. I'm getting merch made up. I'm gonna have 10 sweaters made up. They're gonna be bag swinger sweaters. So the only people that's even gonna be able to purchase one of the sweaters is gonna be a bag swinger. If everything works out the way that I want it to work out, they're gonna be top quality, top of the line. I actually am gonna be going around, and I gotta go this week hopefully and go look at some of the material, because I want to make sure, I like our Teesprings, but I want to have the best material possible, and I want to be able to, like, there's certain aesthetics that it has to have, and we're not gonna have, it's not gonna be iron on or pressed on. The the whatever signage is gonna be on it is gonna be actual patches and gonna be actual letters written into, with stitching written into. Exactly. So this is the level of quality that we're gonna be bringing up. I'm only getting about 10 of them made. I'm not sure if we're just gonna do a first come first serve with bag swingers, or if we'll do a lottery pick, and if you get one of the names and you're a bag swing and you choose that you want to purchase it, you can purchase it, and if not, we'll just move to the next person. I'm not 100% sure how we're gonna do it, but that's because it's gonna be something that's gonna be purchased. Don't get it confused, but that's the next level, or that's an idea or a thing that I plan on doing and I plan on bringing. So I want to have the Discord server up first. If I get the Discord server up first, then I could just be able to look through there, and I'll be able to communicate with the bag swingers much easily, and I don't have to come on here and have the whole entire discussion with people who aren't necessarily bag swingers about things that they don't need to. So it doesn't look like I'm trying to.
Right. Hey, Bree Powell wants to know if anybody else is calling in.
Does anybody else want to call in? Shout out to Classic Dreadhead with the $4.99 drop. Salute, my brother. Classic Dreadhead pulls up into the saloon. This is actually the first drop of the day. I forgot that we was doing saloon drops. This is literally the saloon show. Classic Dreadhead pulls up.
Hey, because I'm still getting situated, it's not time yet, but I'm gonna hit you offline because me and you need to talk about when you want to come out here. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got the guest room.
Yeah, not a problem. Classic Dreadhead pulls up to the saloon, comes into the bar. The whole place is empty. There's party favors and everything hanging from the rafters. They thought people was gonna pull up. No one came in. He said, "Yo, why is this place so closed?" The bartender, he don't talk much. He says, he gives the shrug. Classic Dreadhead walks up to the bartender. He says, "Hey, can I have a drink?" Bartender says, "You're a penny short. You're going to have to go sit over there." Shout out to Classic Dreadhead pulling up to the saloon today. He's a penny short.
Yo, Classic Dreadhead, it takes $5 to get in the saloon.
It takes $5 for a drink. He's in the saloon. It costs $5 for a drink. He a penny short. Them pennies add up, man.
You're a penny short for the saloon. Classic Dreadhead. So, yeah.
Anybody else want to call in? I'm gonna let you go. Give somebody else a chance to call in. I'm not sure if that's what Bree Power was trying to ask.
I think that's what she was trying to ask. So I'm gonna step aside. I just had to call because I've been peeping some of the shows, but I couldn't speak because I was so busy trying to get situated.
How was the trip? How's your new home in Florida, and how are you feeling
I don't want to talk bad about the movie company, okay, but I'm gonna just say it took a week for me to get my stuff, and I have a whole video that I did about sleeping on the floor for a week.
Because you ain't have your Your bed. Sorry that happened.
I have a whole video about that shit, bro. Like, that shit is like, it was amazing that even happened in real life. So I have a whole video about that. You know what I mean? That I post on my YouTube channel. But
Copy.
you know, that's something that we'll talk about at a later date. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, in between time, I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm still here, still supporting. Even though I haven't been chatting in the chat, a lot of times I'm listening. I just can't talk because it's on my phone.
Copy. All right.
You know what I mean?
That's what it is. Definitely appreciate you calling in, my brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the admins come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow, all right?
All right.
We need to figure out the BBN South Florida trip.
All right, copy. And I need help with the Discord. Anybody that knows how to do Discord.
I got you. I told you before. Whatever you need, I can help you with it. I just don't want to be an admin.
Copy. Appreciate you, my brother.
If I'm an admin, there's a lot of people who are gonna get kicked, and I don't want to do that.
Copy. Say what's up to the people before you bounce.
Salute, BBN fam. This is what we do. On top of that, people change. Malcolm X, when he was red versus when he was in the damn Mexican. So yeah, that's what we doing.
That's what it is. Appreciate you, my brother.
Take it easy, bro. Peace.
Later. Shout out to Deontay Watts with the $5 drop. Watts Games. Watts Games pulls up to the Saloon. I'm about to call the admins right now. Give me 1 second, y'all. Watts Games pulls up into the Saloon. He comes in. He got shoulder pads on. He got a bat and he got a stick in his hand that still got leaves and shit in it. He got a he got a fucking like shin guard things that he made out of like cast metal iron. He runs in the saloon. He runs up to the bartender. He takes a hat thing off his head. He puts it down. He says, "Look." He starts trying to explain to the bartender exactly how football works. The bartender's like, come on, man. I don't know about none of this stuff that you're talking about. I don't think this stuff is going to give. He's like, look, there's 100 yards. There's one football. You got 11 guys on this side. You got 11 guys on that side. They got to matriculate the ball down the field into the other side of the field. And every time they do, they get 6 points. The bartender's like, but what if they don't make it? They gotta. How many chances do they get? Watts Games is sitting there like, oh man, I didn't think of any of these things. Shout out to Watts Games. He's trying to come up with the ideas of how he's gonna make football work. Appreciate you, my brother. Yeah, let's get the admins on here. Somebody said hit the admins up. Yeah, somebody did just get kicked out dumb quick. Shout out to that shit.
What up?
Hey, no, somebody said to get the admins on. I thought Bree Powell said to get the admins on. So I
barely hear you. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I thought Bree Powell said let's get the admins on. So I came to the admin chat.
She did too. What's up, Bree?
You the only one that pulled up. Shout out to Liberty Hazelton.
Yeah, shout out to Liberty Hazelton.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Stressful week, man, but I can handle anything that God throws at me. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way we should be feeling.
The testament of life, you know what I mean? Like, whenever you feel like somebody's kicking you in the teeth, I mean, it sucks. It hurts to feel that way, but it matters yourself up, right?
All right.
So for y'all that don't know, my son, he got into a wreck this week. There was some bad weather up here in Kansas. He slid off the road, went into a ditch, totaled his truck. But thankful to God, he's doing okay. And Daddy was able to slide him a little on, so he'll be able to get back on his feet soon. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay. How old is your son?
He's 21. He's 21. He's going to college.
Okay. Shout out to that. I'm happy that he's okay. That's a fact. That's first and foremost.
For sure. He was shook up a little bit, but it was his first wreck.
I had one. I flipped the car. Did we flip? No, I almost flipped the car. I almost flipped the SUV on the over here in the west side, not the West Side Highway, the FDR in Manhattan. So yeah, and it was the car that I was driving had a front wheel alignment problem actually. So I should have been driving the car much more carefully than I was. So I'm still, right. Even though that the car did have its own problems, I should have been still driving much more carefully than I was. What ended up happening was I wasn't speeding, but I was going faster than the car should go. So when I was driving, you know how when you hit the bump and all the wheels leave the floor? Leave the ground?
Oh, yeah.
So when I came back down, since I had the front wheel alignment problem, it was just a wrap.
Right. Started skidding and stuff.
Yeah. But I can't.
How you feel last night at that little show you was at, man? That shit looked dope.
That was Pooch Lokes. He had a couple of parties. That was one of his parties that he had. It was kind of bizarre.
Cool, man. I couldn't stay up that late. I'm getting old, bro. I'm getting too old for this shit.
Dude, I was tired as hell. I'm still tired today. I wanted to do a morning coffee.
That's how old I am. I couldn't stay up late to watch it, but I got up early to watch it.
What you thought about it?
I thought it was good, man. It was good to see you out in the streets, outside, hanging out with the peoples and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
like music, man. I like the music. I like the music a lot, man. They all had a lot of popping songs, man. They was doing thing.
Yeah, I was fucking with the music too. I'm hoping that the main reason why I don't go out more is because I can't miss lives for various different reasons. So I have to get other things off of the ground so much. Remember, before when we used to go out more and we used to be in the courtrooms and everything else, we didn't have a writing section, and we weren't doing as much as we're doing now. So in order for me to be able to do some of the things that I'm doing now, I just am not able to get out as much. But as soon as we get out of here, that should be able to open up a little bit more, and I'll feel just a lot less stressed. I'll be stressed. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, for sure. And then once this COVID stuff, gets off.
Yeah, then stuff is actually gonna be open.
Yeah, we'll be able to move around and create more stuff. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, that's a fact. I keep forgetting COVID and fucking everything up.
Don't forget about COVID. I mean, it's got a little hand to play in this crap too. It's not just the government and all this other crap. It's COVID too.
That's a fact. That's a whole fact. What do you think personally about the storming of the Capitol?
Man, I told you the other night, man. I think that they had a good platform, but they went about it wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that we the people, like I said, in the Constitution was made for we the people. So we got to figure out a way to come together and use our voices together for the greater good. You know what I mean?
No, I 100% agree. And
so I think that what they did was they took an opportunity and they totally shit on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have totally taken that and used it for a greater purpose. You know what I mean? But they made themselves look like clowns the way they went about it. There was no man, if you had Killer Mike, you know what I'm saying, running that thing, not that he'd be running it for the white delegation, but if they were storming the Capitol and Killer Mike was in charge, there would have been planning. There would have been, you know what I'm saying, a
See,
voice.
this is
there
the
would have
thing.
been
Hold on.
unified voice, not just everybody screaming nonsense at the same time.
Hold on. One, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm not arguing your point. I think you are correct. But there was planning. It literally was. They had a extensive planning. Actually, it comes to find out. I just found out about this not long enough ago to be able to actually have a conversation about it. But they've had a lot. They actually had extensive planning. You know, they just caught a dude. Was it today? I think they just caught a dude today or yesterday trying to get into where the inauguration is, and the dude was trying to come in with weapons and ammunition and every damn thing else. So.
I don't think this is nowhere near over. These idiots, these people are gonna keep doing what they're doing, you know, pushing past the inauguration and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting back with my popcorn right now. You know what I'm saying? I got my house protected. You know what I mean? Like we're good over here. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting back here with my cup of tea, like Kermit, and my bag of popcorn, and I'm watching what these guys are going to do, because at the end of the day, it has a lot to do with what these guys are going to do, but how are we all going to react to it? You know what I mean?
No, that's a fact.
What's going to happen with the country? What's going to happen with the country, and how is the government going to react, and how are the people going to react? And the best advice I could give is just don't be hot-headed. Don't just jump in with any group. Don't just jump in and start doing stuff. You know, sit back and protect your family first. Protect your families. Protect your community. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. See, this is okay. So the first thing I want to say is this. One of the things I don't like is how people keep how you got individuals that try to say everybody that was storming the Capitol was racist white people. That's a lie. Okay, there was tons of people there that weren't even white, so we're not going to say that.
Whole group. It was just like America. It was a mixed pot full of people. You know what I'm saying? The only people that are saying that it was white people, they have an agenda to push against white people. You know what I'm saying? The only different things, they have a certain agenda to push. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say that the main people that were saying that are individuals that want to create separation.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I've seen video coverage that had people that were Caucasian, and I had seen video coverage that had black people there, and I saw video coverage that had just seen people from various people. Exactly. So when I look at the whole situation, I'm looking at it like this more than anything else. We have a problem in America, and America's broke. But the issue isn't that America's broke. The issue is that the people that are trying to keep America broke has more influence over the population, it seems, than the individuals that would like to have America fixed. Now,
the people that are trying to keep America broke, they have more to gain by America being broke.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So
because that's how they make their money.
Yeah, you know? Well, yeah, that too. But when we look at just me speaking, just for my own self, my own thoughts. But when I look at a lot of the things that Donald Trump did, I don't agree with so much that he did. Don't get this confused. But I don't generally agree with presidents anyway. Like, generally, me speaking, me as a person, I don't generally agree with what the presidents do in general. There was a lot of shit Obama did that I did not agree with. Then I heard some weirdos thing today where I don't know if this was just they trying to say that there's a chance that freaking Osama bin Laden is actually still alive. I was like, what? I heard some weirdo shit about that today. I was trying to find the link again. Yeah, there's some.
So the thing that I see with it is divide and conquer. The way to win a war, or the way to keep yourself in power, is to divide the people. If you divide and conquer people, you will stay in power, right? That's theoretically right?
Well, we still live. No, what you're saying is correct. If you divide the people.
So what I'm getting to the point is, the way that they divide and conquer is every 4 years they have an election. Up until the third year, we'll be singing Kumbaya together, and at the fourth year,
that's pretty interesting.
You know what I'm saying? And then at the last year, they're like, okay, whose side you on? Are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? You red? You blue? You hanging with the baby killers? Are you a pro? Are you against? Are you know what I'm saying? That's how they start to split people up. And when they start to split people up, that's how they get our minds off all the other crap that they're doing, and they divide us. And while they got us divided, fighting against each other, that's when they have the time to do whatever they want to do.
If you notice, one of the main things I always say is don't vote party lines, vote for your best interest.
That's a fact.
I say that all the time. So if we would have been voting for our best interest, first of all, I don't think Biden could have won, period. Because if we're voting for our best interest, we wouldn't have had so many people of color going out there saying vote for Biden. No matter what you think about Trump. No matter what you think about Trump, you're not going to say go vote for Biden.
That was the Biden Trump. You know what I'm saying? The Biden Trump campaign was just like the Trump Hillary campaign. I mean, you had two evils. You got to pick between the lesser evil. I mean, they give us no choice really. I think you know what I'm saying. I believe in democracy, but I think that our democracy or our idea of democracy right now is broken. But I do think that it could be fixed. But right now, I think it's a broken democracy. And I think that the only way that we're going to fix it is for us to come across the lines. And we got to start, you know what I'm saying? We got to start figuring stuff out together. We can't be divided into parties.
Okay, so the first problem we have is we have a capitalist society. A capitalist society say make all the money that you can and screw the little guy. So that means that okay, so I saw something today that said that if minimum wage had been increasing with inflation in the appropriate manner, minimum wage right now would be $24 an hour.
Oh yeah, you know what minimum wage in Kansas is right now?
I hope it's over $7.
Barely. You're looking at like $7.50. Yeah, it's horrible. But I mean, at the same time, our cost of living isn't as high as like California or New York, but at the same time, who can live off of $7.50 an hour, even 40 hours a week? You're barely making after taxes $1,000 a month.
Think about it like this also. If we had if the rate of if that rate actually went up, that would make places like that more desirable to live because you will be able to be more comfortable.
Right. And if our rate goes up and places are more desirable to live, people start spending more in the communities.
Boom.
And then there in that, you have your own stimulus. You don't have to just give money away. You're actually making the places. And I'm telling you, I agree that there's a lot of pushing different races out of communities. What's it called? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Gentrification. I agree with that. There's a lot of that going on, and that's very sour. But at the same point, man, come live in my neighborhood. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna show. I'm turning the camera around. That's cool.
Yeah.
Say you just talk your shit.
At the same time, I believe that there's a lot of gentrification coming on. But I'm more than willing, like, man, come live in my, man, come on, man, get pushed out of your neighborhood where it costs you too much money to live and they don't want you there anyway. Man, screw those people, man. Come over here to Kansas. Come over here where it's cheaper. Come over here, man, we're living good. Come on. If people want to push you out of a place, why would you want to live there? You know what I mean? Man, don't give them back your money, right? If you're getting gentrified, man, that's a problem.
So, but this is the problem. This is the okay. So let me just say this thing about the gentrification real quick. This is the problem that individuals have. I've been living somewhere. Let's say somebody's been living somewhere. Their whole family's been living there for 30, 40 years. Let's say their whole family's been living there for 3, 4 generations.
Right.
Now, they want to move out people that look like these particular individuals and move other people in. So gentrification just don't happen where they say we don't want you here no more, move. What they do first is they allow all the crime to come into the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, they force you out.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so you've been living here with your whole family. Your family owns the house that you live in. You don't want to sell your house. You plan on leaving your
I
house to your kids.
I get that too. I
You
completely
understand what I'm
understand.
saying?
Yeah, for sure.
We made
But look,
roots here.
but
We don't want to
no, in,
move.
in the same note though, they don't teach you. You're sitting there trying to keep a house in New York that costs $50,000, or I'm sorry, $400,000 for a little house, when you could sell that sucker, move to Kansas with your whole family. You know what I mean? Look, I'm not being a bigot or racist or nothing, but there's a reason why a lot of people that come across the border, they settle here in Kansas.
Mm.
This is a very prosperous place. You know what I mean? Because it's not high costly to live. I'm telling you, I'm about to get a house built for like $400,000, and it's gonna be like 4,000 square feet. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have my own business built into it. I mean, in New York, California, that's like a studio apartment. You know what I mean?
I'm not arguing your point at all, but once again, uh, okay, so people just get used to, or should I say, people? Okay, so let's say somebody is a actor. They do acting
Oh
for
yeah,
a living.
you
What
gotta conform to that shit. Then I get that. You gotta
what
conform
would
to
it be more beneficial for them today? Would be just be more beneficial for them to be around where they can, do their craft, right?
right. Yeah, and that's where that's what I'm saying. You gotta conform to that. In the, I mean, you gotta take big leaps to get big gains, right?
It's a fact.
So in order to, so if I'm from Kansas and I'm a striving actor and I'm used to this, I should know somebody over there first before I take that leap. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Because
I agree.
it's got to be worth it. I mean, but if you got that talent, man, it pays off. You gotta trust in yourself.
There's a lot of females, right? There's a lot of females since the beginning of film that turned into porn stars because they wanted to become actresses and went to
They
Hollywood
run
and it didn't work out
too
that way.
quick,
Yeah, so yeah,
right?
nah, you right. I ain't even arguing that. You 100% right.
All right, man. I'm gonna get off here, bro.
All right, appreciate you. That's a whole fact. You want to say what's up to the
Hey,
people?
BBN, I love the chat, man. Y'all are the best. Y'all are the best. Y'all make this possible. We are a culture. Let's do
Appreciate you.
this.
Later. Liberty Hazelton called in. Very happy about that. We are also still accepting 5 to 10 $10 drops to the Cash App. Hey, so look at this is something that they made. They want me to drop this on merch. But I dropped it. Wait, why is that on the screen? What the fuck is this? Shh, somebody's probably in my computer. I have been on point with a lot of my prognostications. Shout out to Eric Mack. He said he starts a rep contract next week. 16 an hour, works from home, won't have to commute. That's dope. Definitely happy with everybody that just called in. Shout out to Everett Gilchrist with the $10 drop. Everett Gilchrist pulls up to the saloon. He comes into the saloon. He's like, "Oh man, there's a couple of people in here now. There's things happening. You see, freaking Watts game still talking to the bartender. The bartender's going like this, but I don't understand. Everett Gilchrist walks into the saloon. He got his whole bop going on. He feeling good. He's over there flipping tables. Not actually flipping the tables, but he's like going like that. He's like, yeah, he's enjoying himself. Bartender says, what can I get you today? Everett Gilchrist says, look, man, the saloon, this is where it happens. But when he turns around and he goes like this, ain't nobody in the saloon. So he turns all the way back. He said, this is where it happens. Everett Gilchrist, he gets himself a nice steak with some rice, with some kidney beans, with some gravy on top of it. And then also, you want to know what else? Matter of fact, he gets some rice with some kidney beans, with some fried chicken, with some smothered fried chicken smothered in gravy. I love cooking that. I need to get out of here so I can get myself a stove. Smothered in gravy, with gravy all over the rice and all over the kidney beans and all over the chicken, and a little bit of yams. He got some yams right there with the cinnamon on it. Oh man, who could go for some yams? I could go for some yams. I ain't even gonna lie to you. With the cinnamon on the yams, and then he said, like, here you go, Everett Gilchrist. Everett Gilchrist is thanks very much. This plate looks phenomenal. Can I also have a beer? Big Cat says, I wish I worked from home. I got 5 kids. I wouldn't get nothing done. Maybe you don't wish you worked from home then, homie. What the fuck? I got Disney stock. The stock gotta start going up. Disney just dropped some new shit. Y'all want to stay on or y'all done? Y'all want to stay on or what y'all want to do? Okay. Y'all want to stay on or what y'all want to do? I don't feel like that shit is loud. I want to show y'all something I posted today. What y'all think about this? Thank you. I'm going to look at it right now. What do y'all think about this? Does that make a point? If you think this makes a point, I want this reshared. Don't even tell me what you think about it. If you think this makes a point, I want this reshared. If you don't reshare it. But if you think that makes a point, can you go reshare that? Let me go look at what Miss Bree Powell, this sniper, sent us. And I'm going everywhere else other than the place I'm supposed to be going. Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm in the wrong jump off. Hold on. Virginia man arrested while attempting to pass police checkpoint in D.C. with fake inaugural credentials. So apparently his inaugural credentials was fake. He also had a loaded handgun and 500 rounds of ammunition. Beeler Wesley Allen. He is not going to like what's going to happen to him. Let me so I could. I'm trying to figure out a way to zoom this shit in so I could read it. Oh, there we go. All right, so it says the following events took place at the intersection of North Capitol Street Northwest at East Street Northwest, Washington D.C. Okay, so it says on Friday, January 15th, 2021, at approximately 18:30 hours, on DuPont Road, I guess that says, was working a security perimeter. R.O. DuPont was working a security perimeter checkpoint at North Capitol Street and East Street Northeast, Washington, D.C., put in place by the presidential inauguration, when R.O. observed a white Ford F-150 truck bearing VA tags pull up to the checkpoint and presented an unauthorized inauguration credential. R.O. told the driver to pull over away from the checkpoint to further investigate. First of all, can I say something real quick? Just so we could be clear on something. Any idiot that is rolling up to any of these things with fake credentials, you're stupid. You were stupid. You are the levels of dumb you are, I can't even explain. You trying to tell me you're trying to sneak into an inauguration with fake papers right after there was a whole mess that happened at the damn Capitol. There was a thing that just happened at the Capitol. And you're trying to sneak into the inauguration with fake. Does anybody else think that sounds stupid, or is that just me? Anybody else think that sounds stupid? So we just had a whole situation that is still news circulation all day about Washington, D.C., the Capitol, right, being invaded by people who are now considered to be treasonous. And what you try to do is you try to go through a checkpoint with fake inauguration papers. R.O. approached the vehicle and identified D1 as driver, I guess D1, as Wesley Allen Beeler per his valid VA driver's license. I'm going to tell you the wild thing about this. His first and middle name, the first letter is the only thing that's capitalized. But on his last name, they capitalize every letter. Per his valid VA driver's permit. Also, just so we could be clear, I'm pretty sure anybody that shows up to that inauguration that got license plates from any red state. So you're gonna go and you're not even gonna rent a car. You're just gonna go with your own car with your license plate that obviously they can tell that you are from Virginia, a red state, right? Or Virginia, a place that they know that there are people that they expecting to show up to try to do shenanigans. I don't know. It just sounds stupid to me. Anyway, it goes on. What up, Queen Shy? It goes on to say, R.O. attempted to verify the credentials against an authorized access list. The credential presented was not authorized to enter the restricted area. While R.O. was attempting to gather further information, Assistant Officer, I'm not going to say their name, I can't read that, observed several firearms-related decals on the rear window. Once again, why didn't this person go rent a car? On the rear windshield, i.e. assault life, with a picture of a rifle and another, if they come for your guns, give them your bullets first. AO attempted to ascertain from D1 if there was anything in the vehicle that would harm the officers. D1 stated he had a Glock under the center, armed. Upon receiving this information, AO removed D1 from the vehicle and detained D1 in handcuffs pending further investigation. When D1 was removed from the vehicle, RO and AO observed from the driver's side of the vehicle what appeared to be a butt-in and magazine of a handgun under the center armrest in plain view. Crime scene search officer responded to process the video for evidence. Gotta make these letters a little bigger. CSS recovered one Glock 17 9mm Generation 4 handgun. Chain of custody of the handgun RO to USCPCSS. One 17-round capacity magazine was inserted in the handgun, loaded with 16 rounds of 9mm ammunition. The handgun was cleared safely, and one individual round of 9mm was loaded into the chamber. The recovered handgun appeared to be fully functional firearm with a barrel length of less than 12 inches, designed to be fired with a single hand and capable of expelling a projectile by means of explosion. Additionally, search for S1's vehicle led to the search of S1's suspect one's vehicle. That's interesting. This is the first time they called him S1. He was D1 a minute ago, and then as soon as they find this stuff on him, now he's S1, suspect one. Interesting. Additionally, search of S1's vehicle led to the recovery of 509 9mm rounds of hollow point and ball ammunition, as well as 21 12-gauge shotgun shells and a bullet located in plain sight in the rear cargo area of the vehicle. D1 was placed under arrest at 1948 hours for the listed charges and transported to USCP headquarters for processing. I guess that answers your question. He's being processed by the United States CP. That doesn't sound like the regular prison. D1 was NCIC and Wells check revealed that the firearm was not registered in the District of Columbia. The vehicle towed to their lot. Yeah, he sounds like he's in trouble. He sounds like he's in real trouble. These guys are idiots. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. These dudes is idiots. I don't know what to tell you. He just gave his freedom away. I put up with a lot of shit to make sure I stay a free man. He gave his freedom away. Because remember, there are actual, real, credible threats against the lives of some of the individuals who are going to be, especially the Democratic senators. They had one guy said that they should kill. So apparently there's a fear that the Democratic senators are going to be murdered so that Republicans can take their seats. It said that was a credible threat that was made. He's about to go to a military prison being known as a terrorist. And he's going to do all the talking. Oh, United States Capitol Police? Is that what the DC Police is called? Yep, they have a whole lot of... Yo, first of all, that's 13 police officers, what, from DC? because what they are saying is that a lot of police officers that lived outside of DC actually came to DC and were involved in the situation. They said many of the what you want to call them, insurgents? I don't know what you want to call them. Many of the individuals that was storming the Capitol actually were either ex-police officers or actual police officers that weren't working that day. That was like, you know, they took their days off or whatever. So that's crazy. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I am exhausted. We're gonna have a morning coffee tomorrow. I'm gonna get some rest. I'm exhausted. I was at that thing all night last night. Extremely tired. I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all families and y'all friends. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. I'm gonna call out the drops. Shout out to Clap. Shout out to Liberty Hazelton with the $2.99 drop. Black Cuddy says, funny how the vets support Trump. They want black voters not to be counted. I think that's a slippery slope. I'm really exhausted. I'm gonna get some rest. Hopefully morning will be better. Shout out to Watts Gaming with the $5 drop. Shout out to Every Gilchrist with the $10 drop. Shout out to Liberty Hazelton with the $2.99 drop. And shout out to Classic Dreadhead with the $4.99 drop. Definitely appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I am exhausted. Yeah, I'm really tired. Go check out. We dropped the video today. I might try to drop something tonight. I don't know. I need to find some more hip hop stuff for us to talk about. To be honest with you, I don't think we do enough hip hop. I'm just tired. People are gonna be like, "Yo, Jack looks stressed." No, it's tired. I be tired, and people be like, "Yo, Jack, what's wrong?" Sometimes I get tired, man. Yeah. Sometimes I get tired. Sometimes it's just me being tired. Definitely appreciate you guys. Everybody, please, if you got anybody still awake in your household, they should still be awake. It's like it's not even 10 o'clock. If you got anybody still awake in your household, please give them a hug. Tell them you love them. You don't never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Give people their flowers while they're still here. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one.